Hi, I'm Jill with Close to My Heart. Sometimes when you're crafting, you just want to try something different. You know, really shake things up. Well, today I've got a card to share with you that does just that. It's this adorable shaker card. Isn't that fun? Shaker cards are a great way to add an interactive element to the cards that you send, and they can work for almost any occasion. In this video, I want to walk you through the simple steps of how to add shaker features to your cards. So let's get started. So here is our finished card. You can see all of the fun shaker bits inside and the dimension with the foam tape. So let's get started on making this card from start to finish. I already have used my thin cuts to cut out this adorable little duck with a flag shape. And again, we have a coordinating stamp set that goes with that. So I'm going to stamp this image. Let's find a block that fits this right here, and I'm going to just line this up using archival black ink because I'm going to watercolor this image when I'm done. So I want to make sure that that black ink is steadfast and going to stay in place when I start watercoloring. So I've got my little bird stamped, and then I also have some little cloud images, again, that were pre-cut. And we're going to just watercolor these images as well as this cute little fence that also came out of our art booking cartridge. And I actually used the Penelope paper here that has the little stripes on it. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a little bit of detail to that by using some B&T paper on that. So with these three pieces, I'm going to watercolor to bring them to life. And so I've got my watercolor set here. And I'm just going to play with this and make it really fun. I'm going to take some brown to the fence. And again, I'm just giving this like a light wash so that the fence turns brown, but then those little blue tick marks that are on this B&T still kind of show through my watercoloring, and that really adds just a tiny bit of dimension, which is really fun. So this doesn't have to be perfect. We're just going to get it coated. You can do some darker spots and some lighter just to give that fence a little bit of realism. So here we've got that. And again, you could just use a brown cardstock on this. You wouldn't have to use watercolor, but I liked the soft look that makes it all tie in with the watercolor pieces from the rest of the card. So that's why I went ahead and added some watercolor to my fence piece. And again, it doesn't take very long at all. You can just wash over that, and I'm going to set it up here to dry. And then I'm going to work on my little bird here. So I love to use a few different shades of yellow. I'm using the brightest ones here, and I kind of mix them in my lid. Let me bring in my palette so you can see that just a little bit. I like to be able to start with a shade of yellow and then intensify that with darker colors or lighten it with more water. Whatever the look I'm going for, you can achieve it just by how much paint you pick up, how much water you have on your brush, and then also how many different colors you bring into the mix. So on this one, I'm just starting with a good light yellow kind of coverage all over. All of his little wings. And now that I've got him basically colored, then I can come back in and I can even tap into some of this orange and yellow. And again, mix that off to the side so that you can see what color you're getting. And then you can come back in and add some darker color to those spots that kind of make it look more realistic and give it some shadowing and really make it pop. That's the fun of using watercolors on your projects that are stamped, because you can really just pull in some fun detail. You can see how just adding a little bit of that dark color to certain areas really makes this bird have some dimension to him. And I'm going to try to get just his little beak orange. Just barely tapping that with a little bit of orange paint. There we go. So, and then I'm going to just use some of this peachy orange here to make his flag. You could do that any color you'd like. I just think it's a fun touch for the spring card, and the paper that we're using kind of makes that come to life. So we're gonna just give that flag a light wash peach. And then as soon as that dries, I'm going to add the words Happy Easter to that, but I want to give that a second to dry. And while I do wait for that, I'm going to paint some accent pieces onto my clouds here. So I'm using the lightest blue shade and adding a lot of water to that because I do just want there to be a hint of blue on these clouds. And I'm just going to hit the bottom of them. Again, more like a shadow and a shade to this than painting a full blue cloud here. So you can see I've just added just blue to the edge there. I'll do that on this little cloud as well. And there we go. So those are all the pieces that I needed to watercolor to get this card ready, and I'll just go ahead and stamp that Happy Easter. This stamp set has so many different sentiments, so if you weren't making an Easter card, you could do hello there, birthday wishes, you're the best. There's also a thank you sentiment on it. So tons of different options with this stamp set. But I'm going to go with full Easter on this and stamp Happy Easter right into my banner. And now we'll start assembling the card. So to make my actual shaker piece, I'm going to start with this striped B&T. And again, this is the same B&T that I used for the fence. And I'm going to build up a wall here around the edges. I'm just going to go as close as I can to the edge with this thinner 3D foam tape. And you basically just want to make sure that you seal off all the edges so that none of your shaker bits fall out when you assemble your card. So you just want to make sure that everything is touching each other as you go around the edges here. And it's just a little bit long, so trim that one down. And one more across this direction. So you can see I've got just like an entire framed in piece here. Now you can leave it this way, but I like to add just one more layer of foam tape because it gives you more dimension and it gives your shaker pieces just more room to wiggle around. So I'm just going to simply go over that one more time with a second layer. So now before I peel off these protective pieces, I am going to take this little thing that has some powder in it. You can use a Q-tip, you can use baby powder, cornstarch, basically anything that you have on hand that can help take some stick off. I'm just rubbing that along these inside edges so that none of my shaker pieces stick to those outer edges. So I'm going to set this piece aside for just a second while I work on my front frame piece. I've got this frame piece that's cut from the art booking cartridge. I've got a little piece that I'm going to back the bow with just to pop that peach color through. And I've also cut a little piece of grass that I'm going to adhere to the back of my frame. I'm just kind of building a scene here with some grass, and then I'm also going to add that fence that I painted. So I've got my fence here, and I want to just have that pop through the grass a little bit. And I'm going to trim off anything that's hanging outside of my frame. And then I'm going to sandwich all of that together with this piece of plastic. This is from a memory protector. I've just cut it down to size to fit my project. You can also use a flip flap or any other clear acetate piece that you have. Memory protectors work great for this. You can see right through them, and the sturdy plastic really helps it all come together. So I'm just using that and adding adhesive all the way around my frame. And then I like to keep it upside down so that I can place the plastic exactly where it needs to be. Just like that. So now I kind of have the lid to my shaker piece and the base to my shaker piece. And so the next thing I want to do is fill this with lots of fun little bits. I'm going to use some sequins. And these are adhesive backed, but it's really easy to just peel the adhesive off the back and make them unsticky. So we can just take a few different sizes. I can just take these little glue dots that come on these sequins and peel those off. And then they're just loose little pieces that can go right into the box. There's another one. You can use any kind of thing you like. You can use just plain glitter. You can use any type of embellishment. That's what's so fun about a shaker card, is the parts and pieces that you put inside are just really fun and original and can match any color scheme you're going for. So I'm just going to add a couple more sequins just to get the idea here. There we go. So you've got some of those that shake around. And then I'm also going to use some of these puffy stickers. And again, I'm going to take my powder that I have, and you can use anything you have. Like I said, it can be baby powder, it can be cornstarch. You can simply press it on your pants a few times to get the sticky off the back. Basically, you're just trying to remove that stickiness off the back of these images so that they can shake around in your card. And so you can see that now that I've taken off some of that sticky, all these pieces are going to just shake inside the card and really be a fun little detail. So I'm using just a few different sizes of the flowers. Again, you could use anything you want in this. That looks good for now. So once you've done that, then you can go ahead and peel off that layer of backing from your foam tape. This is where the magic happens. You're just going to lay your frame on top. Make sure you get a nice even seal on that so that all of that comes together. And you can see how fun that is, that every time you move the card, those pieces inside shake around. It's really a fun thing. So then to quickly finish off the card, I'm going to adhere this entire shaker piece to the center of my card base. And then I can't forget about this cute little bird that we made earlier. Let's put her right there. And some clouds to finish this off. And you've got a complete, fun Easter scene on a card that really comes to life with all those shaker pieces. And there you have it. Whether your next card making projects are Easter cards like this one, or you'll be working with birthday, thank you, or graduation cards, now you've got a fun way to shake things up. For more information or how to get your hands on any of the products used in this video, contact your independent consultant or visit closetomyheart.com to find one in your area.